This is Tom's World Beer Tour, a podcast story featuring Tom Bowman and Tom Bradley. Now, crack one open and let the tour begin.
Nobody can tell what they're looking at right now. I've got this like vision of you and I are at that long table.
You and I are at the table.
And like a mansion where a husband and wife are having dinner.
Yeah, we are an old gay married couple because we don't have
Yes.
sex and we bicker all the time.
And then I say, would you please just go take the salad down to him and tell him I'm not talking to him
I'm sorry,
the
it's
rest of the night? Yeah, bring it down here.
Salad, please.
We are like 17 feet away, and I miss you
Well,
already.
you and the guests are huddled around one section, and I am like 50 feet away in another room.
Now, wait a second. You can't call them the guests.
Well, no, they're our guests, and we're also their guests, because this is a special
that's what I'm saying.
podcast edition.
If you call them the guests, they're going to call us the guests.
Yeah, we are. We're
Tell
the
me,
guests
tell
on
me
their
what
show.
the hell we're doing here.
All right, this is a crossover event. So you know, like on NBC, there's like two different shows on. One is on fire departments, and one's on the hospital, and they do a crossover event, and the hospital people show up on the fire one, and the fire one show up on the it's that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
It's a crossover event. So
Yeah.
these fine gentlemen that we're going to show here in just a second are from a podcast called The Old 77. And you can find that everywhere where you find podcasts, and there's video, and they're going to explain where they can find theirs. As a reminder, you can always find ours. First of all, if you're watching this, that means you're either on Facebook.
Guys, this is where he does the housekeeping stuff.
This is called the
We gotta do
housekeeping.
that thing.
Somebody in the marriage has to do the housekeeping. That's me, apparently. So if you're watching it right now on Facebook,
I just sit back and
you
drink at the center of the
should
table.
not only hit like, but hit follow, so when we put up a new video, you find out that we have a new video. We're also on YouTube. Please go and subscribe to that. And anywhere you listen to your favorite podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart, we're there as well. Amazon, Pandora, we're at all those places. So, listen, Thursday mornings, you get to hear us on your way to work, or you can watch us because, look, two handsome guys. We're going to bring on two more handsome guys. Why
I think you're
wouldn't
going to miss out if you don't take it
So,
in. And speaking of being at all places, I want to also address real quick, and we'll talk about it more in a second, where we are today. We're in Jefferson City, Missouri, at one of the big whiskey locations. Now, I'm guessing this place has been around for almost a year, is my guess.
I think it's about a year. We're in the heart of the capital, Missouri, Jefferson City. My office, ironically, these two gentlemen who are coming on soon work in my office, so it's 3 against 1, which is great.
Okay.
We're right down the street, so a lot of the people that work on my staff, they come here and hang out. This is Jeff City. They live here. You and I drove down together, spoke 5 words together because you were on a call, I was on a call.
Yeah, we're a lot of fun to hang with. And so far, everyone here has been really welcoming, which sometimes in the restaurant industry they forget to be welcoming. They keep coming in going, is there anything we can do for you? We're like, no. We're the pesky-ass bastards. We come around and we just cause trouble. They're like, it doesn't matter. Whatever we can do for you to make your stay more comfortable.
And once again, this place is called Big Whiskey. So what do you think they serve here?
Well, they probably serve a lot of things, but I'm guessing that you're focusing on the whiskey part.
Whiskey. So this is Tom's World Beer Tour at Big Whiskey. I have ordered whiskey for the 4 of us.
All right.
And it will show up eventually. So we won't have a conversational beer today.
It'll be a conversational
We'll have a conversational whiskey.
I have some beer to chase it with, so I believe we're going to be okay with that.
So, well, hey there.
That was a little hello.
Hello there.
Came through.
So should
I'm
we?
I'm going to unmute that again.
You want to try it again?
I'm going to.
Hi.
Hey,
Okay.
there you go.
Hey,
All right,
all
should we bring him on?
Hey.
Hey,
Yeah, but,
there
but
it is.
Do you? I don't know if I'm supposed to bring on the conversation. We'll bring on the conversational beer music later.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So are the cameras up?
They're up.
All right. Please introduce our guests and our hosts.
Well, the old 77, of course, is if you're watching on screen, he is in the lower right-hand square. That would be Scott Merriman with the NASA shirt on.
NASA, yeah.
And
Felt
in the upper right-hand square would be Matt Francois. We call him many things. The Pope, Francois, Philly Matt.
Hey,
call him a
you.
lot of things. Hey, you.
Hey, you.
Hey, fuckface. We've said that before.
Oh, my God.
Is it easy to understand?
You know, I was really worried. I'm glad you dropped the F word because I was really worried. On our podcast, we swear like fucking sailors, man.
No, we do, and my mom will email me later.
I'm sorry, Mom Bowman.
I think Tom Bowman
Bobby
does
Joe.
it.
Oh,
Tom,
I'm sorry, Mama.
Bobby Joe.
Sorry, Bobby Joe.
Bobby Joe.
Tom does it on purpose, and sometimes it comes out sounding like a 7-year-old who just found the F word. He's like, but fuck. And I'm like, you know, it does.
I put the
It's
wrong emphasis on the wrong
On the
syllable.
wrong syllable.
You do. So it happens. What is the old 77?
Well, it's a mixture of everything. If you ever listen to our podcast, it's like we're all on ADD. We all
Oh
have
my God!
ADD.
Yes, we fly through subjects left and right.
So it's like every day at our office.
It's exactly what it is. This is exactly what that is. We all get together at work. We start throwing out stupid stuff in circles, and everyone says we should make a show off this.
Hey,
I
Morgan's
asked-
bringing
right
more
here,
beers.
please.
I asked you guys if it gets
Thank
filthy, and you said yes.
Oh
It
God,
gets
yes.
extremely filthy
Yeah.
sometimes. You know, and it happens with conversation, and we're not proud of that. But it happens.
I
and
am.
I mean,
basically,
proud.
like,
I put it out. We put it out.
yeah. And we look at our podcast
right here,
as
please.
it's a hangout.
Look at that.
When you listen to us, it's a hangout. That's what you get.
I'm looking around to
Don't,
make sure
don't,
there's,
don't drink it yet.
That looks so
there
beautiful.
is
I don't
still,
even know if I
there's
want to
still
drink.
another beer coming, right?
Yeah.
I do believe yes.
Yes. all
Calm,
right.
calm down, dude. It's only been
Damn.
10 seconds since you had a beer.
Thank you very
There's,
much. I appreciate
there's
that.
whiskey here, so I want to make sure it's
You
on
know,
the
if
way.
we had an animated logo, it would be this. It would be Tom's World Beer Tour. Where they're all shaking,
shaking,
because they don't
right?
get enough beer.
So the reason I asked about the filth is because you guys went into a ladies' man.
Oh yes, the ladies' man.
See, just like that, the cavalier.
I went down the Yellow River once. I did not enjoy it.
I did
no.
not enjoy it. What was the one with the in the butt? Give me something from that one.
Oh God. what
Oh, I
was
got that's the newlywed
Yes.
game.
Yeah. Something about he told the whole state of Upper New York to do it in the butt.
Do it in the butt?
Yeah.
But have you
last
done
time
it in the
the
butt?
last time I trusted you, you told the whole state of New York to do it in the butt. Oh yes,
Yes.
I did. That,
That's right.
They should have enjoyed that. Yes.
So
yeah.
I'm in Memphis and I meet this lady who
Wait a minute.
says,
The transition is in the butt and now to Memphis.
I have to take you there. I have to take you there. I'm in Memphis, and this lady is very upset. She's recently divorced, and I said, "I'm so sorry. You know, it's very,
Oh no.
it's very tough. To, you know, the blues are playing in the back. I've been on my own, and I say that's really tough, man. What happened in the marriage?" And she said, "My old man didn't want to do me in the butt."
She
Just-
left him because of
Good
anal?
for her.
And I said, well, she said that. And I said, well, I mean, what was missing in the marriage? And she looked at me very upset. And then she said, she enunciated, she goes, he wouldn't do me in the butt.
And she was
And
being
As,
literal.
as we yelled at in
Yeah.
a restaurant.
I
love it.
hope her husband's name was Bob.
I
by
don't
the way.
know. He
Because
was like,
that'd be in the butt,
yes,
Bob.
yes,
Poor-
I need
poor
that.
Bob.
Poor Bob. He didn't understand. Do it in the butt. That was the weirdest thing. And that's a true story.
That's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to you in
Yeah.
Memphis?
No,
In-
it's
in
yeah,
Memphis.
In Memphis,
Maybe
it
she's
was.
just a true dominatrix. You know what I mean? Like maybe.
Could
What was
be.
she What was she
She left it
wearing?
rough.
Was she wearing a hood with a zipper on it?
No, but she was just a lady that was there, and she seemed to be sad. She's like, he wouldn't do me in the butt. She's like, I told you once. I was like,
I guess
wow.
lack of anal will do that for you.
I guess it,
Boy,
it
that's
Ruins marriages.
That's
It
a
was
rarity right
all the
there.
time.
You hear it here
That's
on the old 77 and Tom's World Beer Tour.
Yeah.
Keep it strong and keep it
Keep
together.
it strong. So
Okay,
the old
we'll be going to
77.
line 2 for our marital
That's
advice.
right.
Take that caller.
That'd be in the butt, Bob. So the
He's
old
on line 9.
The old 77 has been around for a while. This is what episode would this be for you guys?
Our
72.
next episode is 72.
72.
And you guys are a weekly,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Once
So
a-
they've been doing
once a
it
week.
about twice as long as we have.
We've been up since May of last. Well, we went May of 2020.
Yeah,
and
we
we
were
did
born-
December.
We started out hard in the pandemic.
Yeah, we were
did.
born in the pandemic.
Yep.
and the
Yeah.
77 comes
So
from
both Matt and I were born
A month apart.
a day, like to the day, a month apart
Yeah.
In 77.
1977.
I'm sorry, same mother, same father? I mean, is that something I need
Different
to know?
parts of the country,
Oh,
probably.
okay.
But
Well, that
maybe.
doesn't mean that it didn't
They
happen.
pulled it off, though.
You
They
said a
pulled
month
it off.
apart. Do you think it takes more than a month to get from one side of the country
That's
to
a
the
good
other?
point. On horseback back in the day, yeah. Yeah, you had
From what we gather, both dads are assholes. So.
Absolutely.
Which now we've taken it right back to Memphis,
It
haven't
comes
we?
right back
you know,
around.
just one time in Memphis.
Wow.
You know, and by the way, what's the island in Memphis called? Mud Island. I'm not going
Mud-
to talk anymore about
well,
it.
I
That happened.
mean-
that happened. It
So
had
here's
to
what's
happen.
great about these
That
guys.
mud butt.
The beauty of their podcast is that the two of them and myself all work at the same place. We all work at Learfield. We all work
Yeah.
down the street, running broadcasts, all that stuff. On any given day, we just sort of gather outside of somebody's studio.
We did this yesterday.
and we have
Yeah.
Just
these,
started talking like this.
This is the
exactly like
conversation that
this.
we have.
Yeah.
So this is really interesting for me because you guys don't do daily a show where you just kind of, because I do.
You know, I have before. I mean, I've been in radio. Matt's been in radio. I
Yep.
think together we got about, 40 years radio experience?
Something like
and
that.
20
you've
apiece.
done like those daily shows.
We've done daily shows, morning
Yep.
shows. I used to do the afternoons on a country station.
Tom has a lifetime of experience.
This
You
is
know?
26 years.
Yeah.
But
Going on 22 for me.
But anymore, you're not. So what a great outlet for you
Oh,
to be
absolutely.
able to do this.
No doubt. When we started doing this,
Oh,
and
man.
even before we started this whole thing, I was talking to Scott. I'm like, why are we not doing
Right.
the podcast? We have the resources. We have the experience.
That means they've stolen equipment from the office.
No,
Sure.
It was provided to us.
I wouldn't tell my boss that.
No, engineering, like, there's some things that were, like, basically trash. And
Sure.
it was handed down
Oh,
to
like
us.
our board is definitely a hand-me-down. Like 4 of the pots
I mean,
didn't
look at
work.
that
It
thing.
came from New Hampshire hockey.
I'm
when
sorry.
I got
do,
it,
do
all
you
the
think
pots,
the mixer that's in front of Tom that we bought that?
all the pots were broken.
I
on
swear to
it,
God, I think that thing fell off the back of
It
a 10
did.
speed one day.
going
But-
100 miles an hour.
But you guys said, honestly, we should do a podcast because if you listened at the time, and especially a couple of years leading up to it,
Oh, right.
you were listening to idiots who had no idea what they were doing, but they got microphones and they had access to the internet and they were building what they called a podcast.
You're right, and they were doing it really horribly.
Yeah.
We even both said to ourselves, man, I know we can do this better, and we have a budget of 0.
and
like-
make it sound really good.
And we can
too.
make it sound good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you have the background of radio.
Yep.
And so you understand the gift of gab and
Right.
trying to turn that into some kind of audio people can follow
Right,
along with.
absolutely.
Build the story, tell them what's going to happen,
Correct.
deliver it, tell them what happened.
Now, when you guys decided to do a podcast, I want to see if it's the same way Tom and I decided to do our podcast. Did you drink a lot of beers and get in a fight?
We didn't get in a fight, but we did drink a lot of beers.
Oh, okay. I'm just checking.
We did one episode. It was like 3 episodes ago,
Lot
4
of
episodes
beers.
ago. We were talking we got into politics, and it got really heated.
Oh, super heated.
And it was like me versus Dave and Scott, and
Yeah, they have a third. This is 2/3 of the
yeah,
old
this is
77.
2/3. So
The other
Dave-
guy is
Yes,
big perm.
our third, Dave Jordan, he is currently working right now. He teaches guitar.
Well, I'm glad he's finding something.
He made a very
Feed the
small
family.
appearance when we were at Last Flight. Remember
Yeah.
the show we did at Last
Yes.
Flight? He
Yes.
made a big perm. His band played that night.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So he's part of the old 77.
The best part of that is he just sets in with them. They just tell him the songs and give him a chord book, and Dave just follows
That's
along
what
and
he does.
plays.
Oh, he's comfortable
And he's
doing that.
amazing.
So what happened was, the old 77 was just Scott and I at first. So like 7 episodes in, we were just trying to, find our way and find our way formatically.
Right.
And then Dave was like a guest at first, and then he hit it off with us so much, where his personality kind of offsets us,
Yeah.
and it's just a really good mix.
Because you guys are thinking alike, and then you're talking alike, and to have somebody else that steps in and they got a different
Exactly.
wavelength makes it all
Exactly.
work
Completely
together.
different. And
Yeah.
that was the best part of it. Dave brings a more, I want to say, he brings a more hippie element to it, to
Okay.
where I bring more of probably a neutral, maybe more democratic lean, to where Matt brings more conservative lean to
Yeah.
it.
So it balances all the way around.
We are
Tom,
completely
Wait,
balanced.
are you a fucking Trumper?
No.
No.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Just more conservative.
All right,
Yeah, I'm more
just
conservative
checking.
policies.
Hey, what a great way
You
to
see a
welcome
Trump
it.
shirt on here? Oh,
Are you a
right?
fucking Trumper or
What is that? What's
you
this
what?
shit
I got
over
some people
here?
out here that'll kick your ass.
I said it
Hey,
in
if
a
you're a Trump-
Philly accent so he would understand.
Yeah.
The question mark was there. Are you
Right.
a Trumper?
The question mark.
I think it's interesting because if we were to bring a third player on our show, they would also have to be very much different. You and I
You
understand
can't
what we're
bring a
doing.
third into the marriage without having a conversation ahead of time.
That's true. I've tried many times. So
Not in this relationship,
no, not
by
this
the
one.
way.
Different
Sorry,
one.
guys. I'm
No,
sorry.
no, but I think it would have to be someone also. It makes that tripod. It makes that
It-
triangular
right.
effect. You got to have something. That
Dave
takes you
rounds
away.
us out,
Yeah,
to
he
be
does.
honest.
He does.
Did you say tripod?
Tripod.
So our last episode, 71, he was out for some family reason.
He had a family emergency.
So
he had to take off.
We had a guest host come in. And
What was his name? Abel or something? I
Angel.
listened- Angel. That's what
Angel.
it was.
Yeah.
I listened to this the other day.
And Angel, it's just a different feel. Like
It's
when you
altogether
lose
different.
Dave, you kind of just lose that element.
Not to say anything was bad with Angel or
Right.
wrong with Angel. He did great.
He did
but
great.
It just, the flow wasn't there.
Wait, you brought Angel in so it felt strange? Like you got a little strange, is what you're saying?
No, not 100% strange.
Oh,
It
all
was
right.
it was a different spin. It was
right.
a different show altogether. It
Yeah,
had a
it
different
was.
vibe
It
to
did.
it.
So it was like a left-handed guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
we really kind of got down to earth and spoke real stuff as opposed to going off the walls and
Well, and I think that happens.
Everywhere.
But one thing we've learned in the years, and you've done this, I don't even know how many times. When you bring people together, you're like, this person and this person are going to be great together. They will be, but it's going to take a little time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You gotta let people gel. You gotta figure out a rhythm in the dance and their personality. You and I have done this. I mean, I filled in on your morning show a number of times, and that's a little bit different feel than this feel. And
Right.
so you got to kind of know each other.
And
Where
it
do
is
you jump
it is
in?
tremendously different because I run that show. That's my show and my name on there.
What he
And
means
Tom
is I have
Bowman-
to shut the fuck up until it's my time to talk.
Tom's a guest on the show, and there have been a couple times I've looked at him and I've gone, are you quite done?
No. He didn't look at me. He said,
He just told you
are
you're
you
done."
quite done?
But
Just
on-
reach over, less is more.
Yeah, I do. But on this show, that's not the case. And while we do bring different managerial duties to the table to get the podcast up and running every week.
I mean, I do have top billing on the podcast at least.
Yeah, because your name is Tom.
Yeah.
So when you guys
No,
first
Tom Bowman is introduced by Eric, who's sitting over there before Tom Bradley. That's
There he
top
is.
billing, my friend.
Well, the reason is because BO comes before BR. All right?
Boy, one time I didn't use deodorant, and
And
I
see,
did get
now
to
you
the
know.
BR side.
And now you
That's-
understand
yeah, that was
all the way
bad.
through.
Bad remedy.
Tell me if you guys are ready for our conversational beer, which is not a beer this week.
I'm ready. So,
sure,
gentlemen, we have a little song that we bring on.
What do we got going on here?
This is our conversational beer music.
This is a
Ooh,
real
I like
simple
it.
tune, but what it's missing is someone who can play the trombone, coming in with a little something in the background. And I wish I knew someone who
only-
could play the trombone. If he would just pick up the damn trombone that's been lent to him 6 months ago and do a little bit of.
Hey, Mom, do me a favor. Look away from the camera.
This is. Am I right? This guy played like first chair trombone.
I didn't know this.
Allstate,
Oh, yeah.
Allstate,
I
right?
didn't
Allstate.
know
I
that.
don't bring all my
California.
secrets to the office.
I mean, he doesn't
California.
tell me everything.
I think he played for the governor at one time. Was it Reagan at the time? Was it?
I don't remember.
That'd be before your
Well, me
time.
and Nancy
I don't
had
know.
played for the
Tom over there.
Reaganator?
No.
Well, he knows that trombone.
No, but I did
Well, me and
play
Nancy were at the
professionally at
ranch.
Marine World USA.
We are Bowman tromboners.
No. Did you play in the Air Force?
No, I actually didn't play in the Air Force. I was supposed to, and I did not, and then I ended up doing other stuff afterwards.
Yeah, he can really play the trombone, but he
Wow.
won't play for us, and he needs to lay it down on this thing, and we're going to finish that track. But that's our
I don't know
conversation.
if you're aware of this, but I have another job just like you do.
Are we sick and tired of listening
Right,
to that?
always. Yeah.
All right.
Hey, man,
So-
no matter how hot she is, somebody's tired of her shit.
That's
is
right.
true.
Right. And no matter how hot he is, he won't do you in the butt.
That's right.
So, gentlemen, this is our
What do we have? What do we
Even if
have?
there's mud butt going on.
That's
Ooh.
right.
our conversation. That would be in the butt, Bob.
You only
This-
do that after a hard
Welcome
frost.
back to Mud Island. Here we
Our
go.
conversational whiskey tonight is very simple, something you can get everywhere. It is Elijah Craig Small Batch.
Smells good.
Something my boys know because
Yes.
we constantly have bottles in the office for Friday prayer.
We sure do.
And you, Matt, are a fan of bourbon.
Yes, sir.
And I am as well. And this guy's got me drinking more whiskey, and I really like bourbon.
Yeah.
And I had some of this Saturday night. So let's do it.
Safe to drink now?
Yeah, please.
All right,
Absolutely.
cheers.
Cheers.
Salute.
Here we go. That is lovely.
No, I like mine on ice.
Hey,
That's
speaking
good.
of which, I got you 2 bottles for your birthday. Have you opened both of those bottles?
No, I was going to open that smoked. What was it? Maple smoked?
Knob Creek Smoked Maple.
Yeah,
Is it
that's
good?
I haven't tried it yet. I gave it to him.
I was so new into Elijah Craig. I was like, let me have a little more of the Elijah Craig, and I'm going to save the other one for a good special weekend night, which could be coming up around a campfire this Saturday.
There you go.
Well, good for
So
you.
that could happen. This has been sitting on ice.
But you're
for-
not invited.
But
No,
you're-
I'm in Stillwater. I'm in Stillwater, Oklahoma Saturday with Golick.
This has been on ice for how long?
Probably 15 minutes.
I was saying
maybe.
maybe 10, 15.
How does that feel for you? Is it too long for you to get that?
No,
first
no,
sip?
I'm all right with it. I'm all right with it.
Because I really like it.
I usually, I drink my whiskey neat usually.
We get a bottle of Elijah Craig Small Batch for the studio, and it's gone probably in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So down at Learfield, right? So we all work in the same division, right? These guys work their butts off. They help
Yeah.
craft the sound of the broadcast. They run the broadcast. They're part of a team of about 20 people. And every Friday, which I'm not a part of anymore, unfortunately, we do have Sports Ops Prayer, which is usually in my office. We pour a little bourbon for everybody, and we toast to a good weekend.
How religious is it?
Not.
It used to be religious when Tom was there.
But
Without his
Oh, it
presence,
was?
it's not
You
like,
mean when Brother Tom was there?
it's not as prevalent as it was.
Are you saying it's not happening now?
Well,
Because I came back off a road trip, and what was left on my desk was just an empty bottle. as
That-
if
that was
you need
because
to
of
go
me.
buy. You need to go buy more.
That's
that
because
was
of
me
me.
and my
it
group.
used to be more of a gathering and a very somber
Yes.
and reverent
No,
occasion.
it was
wasn't
more of a-
reverent.
It was like entering a room of monks. with,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
their bourbon
Was
in
there
their
chanting?
hands.
It was
Wait.
pour it and praise it.
Was I in this room? I don't recall any of this.
But again, you called it prayer?
We
That's
call
what
it-
it's called.
It's called
It's called
Sports
prayer.
Ops
Yep.
Prayer,
Yeah.
which is really just a reason for us to drink whiskey.
That's
Do,
all it
do
is.
any of you guys pray or go to church and pray?
I pray by myself.
I
Like,
prefer to
don't go
remain
church.
hold on.
religiously
Let me-
unaffiliated.
I gotta go down this rabbit hole. What do you mean you pray by yourself when nobody's watching?
When things are tough, I just
You say,
know,
"Dear Lord,"
taking-
it's like you're in the car. You're like, "Kill that son of a bitch right
No,
now."
I'll,
Right?
I'll,
He
I'll
pulls a
actually
Tebow.
Like, I'll be sitting in the shower. I'll stand in the shower.
Do
and just
you have
be
a
like,
little
God,
bit of
help me today.
Do you really?
Do you have a little bit of
Absolutely.
Do you have a little bit of holy wooder?
Yeah, right.
Holy wooder?
Wooder
Yeah.
for his duder.
Don't make me try to say it. Tom.
He's from Philly, so he talks like
Okay,
that. Wooder.
all right.
Wooder.
Who ordered a cheeseburger?
That would be me. I have not ate today, and I'm drinking
Dude,
bourbon
I'm
and
gonna have
beer.
to. I might have to order one of those.
Y'all want in
cheeseburgers.
on this? Go ahead and grab
That
some.
That's what
cheeseburger
she
looks pretty
said.
good.
No, I'm not ready, but I want to see you eat that during the podcast.
Oh,
During
listen,
the podcast.
Oh, yeah, you can't let it
our
sit there.
very first show.
You guys were eating key lime pie last week.
Yeah,
That's
we
right,
were.
that's
So
right,
you'll
yeah.
love this. Our very first show, Guthrie, who you guys know, used to work for us.
Right.
The vegan, the big vegan.
Oh,
While Tom is interviewing
God
him,
bless him.
I ate
Right.
an entire double cheeseburger.
Oh, my God. It was a half pound.
It was a half-pound cheeseburger. I looked directly into the camera
Yes.
while Tom was talking to Scott, and I just ate.
No, and I gotta
In like
say,
six
you
bites.
should.
he's going for the comic and the visual effect, and he got it.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is, in order to get that down, he's chewing like 2 chews, and then he's swallowing chunks, and you
Oh
can
my
see
God.
he's got tears in his eyes. He's like, "This is good," and I'm like, he's ripping his throat apart
I
right
felt
now.
horrible the next day, but it was a delicious. It was at D-Rose, which we
Oh
love.
yeah, it's good stuff.
So good luck with that.
thanks.
Yeah,
I'll
there
probably eat
are
that
no
off camera, to be honest.
I think I'm gonna have to
no
order one of
vegans
those.
right here.
That looks good.
Can you show us on the camera?
Yeah,
and
bring
show
that-
me?
bring that
Yeah,
burger
Let's
up,
look at
man.
this thing
Yeah,
right
it looks
here.
pretty good, right?
So
This
Look
is
at
big
that.
whiskey, big
You see
whiskey in
that?
Jefferson City.
There you go.
Yeah.
What kind of cheese on
bad.
there? American or
it
cheddar?
looks like American.
I hope it's just Kraft slice.
It doesn't matter at this
Who
point.
cares?
Right?
You got a
Look at
red
that.
onion on there.
Dude,
You're
it could
gonna
be
eat the onion?
government-
Right? That's when you know it's good.
It
You're
could be
gonna eat it.
government cheese. We don't care.
Right? Just slap that
I'll
on there.
stand
Give
in-
me a half brick of that.
All
Well,
right,
I
so
mean, if it's government cheese, you get a discount.
you get it. You get it for free.
I'll stand in line for an hour for that.
Would you
shit.
eat government? Would you eat government beef?
No.
Isn't that the same beef?
It's got to
they
be
eat?
lean times, man. I'm boiling my shoe if that's the case.
I'm eating ramen
like shit,
instead.
boiled shoe or
Wow.
government beef.
Isn't that the
Yeah.
same meat? The meat that they
What
serve at,
brand is what brand
Walmart?
is shoe?
It doesn't
Let me
matter.
know. I just want to know.
Wolverine?
Like if it's a fry boot, okay. But if it's a Nike tennis shoe, I'm not
Wolverine,
eating
for
that.
God's
Well,
sake.
I mean, you got to get
Good
something with
luck.
leather in it, right? You want to
Yeah,
boil that thing
Jesus.
down, or somebody that worked at McDonald's with a tread safe.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
God,
There you
that's
go.
some taste now.
Oh my God, you
You
get
can put
flavor
that on
in
a grill.
that.
You don't have to boil that.
No, the good thing
Eat
about
that mid-rare.
but if you get a used tread safe, it's got all that floor buildup in it, so there's flavor.
You
in
mean
there.
floor patina?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
as we like to refer to it.
God, that's the worst.
What's
Oh.
the worst thing you would put on a tortilla chip and actually eat?
Oh.
Anchovy? Anybody an anchovy?
Oh, then I would
I'd do
actually
that.
I've had
eat-
anchovies before.
Yeah, I'd do that.
Not
You would
bad.
do
I
that?
actually, when I first started working, I ordered anchovy pizzas. I got one anchovy pizza, and me and a fellow person at work
At
ate
our
it.
place?
Oh yeah, we ate it.
When the hell did we let that happen?
How stinky was it when it arrived, and how stinky
Oh, it
was it
was-
the next day?
It was bad, and it was worse.
But see, the thing is, anchovy paste gets put into things. You don't. It's salty.
Oh,
you don't
no,
really
no, no.
taste it.
No, it's whole fish.
No, these
no,
had,
no, no,
these
no.
had whole fish,
It's
like
whole fish,
circling
no,
around in
I
a
am
pie.
aware
It was
of
they're
that.
actually
intimidating.
still swimming.
I
My
am
God, it was
aware of how it
intimidating.
shows up on a pizza. I'm just saying the way to eat anchovy is paste.
I mean, this
that
thing
you
had
just mix
eyeballs
into
and all.
something.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Oh, it's the whole
alright.
thing. There's fins on it.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
delicious as hell. Let me tell
There's
you.
a little bit of coral reef on the thing. It's
when
really,
I was a kid, I can
Oh,
remember
that's
my dad.
Nemo.
I can remember my dad buying like cans of anchovies and just
Yeah.
eating them right out.
Oh, in the oil,
Yeah.
rolling
Oh,
it
dude.
back.
Dude,
put it on
that-
a
That's like an
cracker.
old school
That
thing,
smells
right?
like prom night, is what it
I've
smells
done
like.
that.
That's awful.
Oh, yeah.
Smoked clams.
The horror
I- I
movie.
don't-
Once again, prom night.
Yeah.
One time in Memphis.
Prom night.
Wow.
Welcome to Learfield Conversation.
Oh,
Every
God.
day.
Literally, welcome to the old 77, because that's what it is.
I want to understand. First of all, you guys have older souls. When you talk filthy,
Oh yeah.
I feel like you come from an older generation.
Absolutely.
And you give me hope and promise for the future of this country.
Well,
Am I right,
I
Mr.
wouldn't-
Conservative?
I
That's
wouldn't
right,
say
man.
I'm like young. I'm
Oh, no, you're not young. We
I'm
know
gonna be
that.
44
Neither of
next,
us are young.
next month.
No.
So.
You guys have kids in
Yeah.
your house.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got kids. But if you're able to have these filthy discussions and sound like you're from an older era,
Yeah. Well,
I
the
think
other
you're
day
good.
I drop stuff at work all the time, and nobody understands what I'm saying except like Tom
Yeah,
or
and
maybe
Matt.
Matt and a few others. All the younger people are like, "Who's that again?"
they got no idea.
They have no
Right, no
idea.
idea.
Like cultural references. Like I dropped a Top Gun reference the other day, and nobody caught it.
Well, not to get into the racial stupid stuff. I mean, it was needed, but whatever. In
Right.
Ford Gran Torino with Clint Eastwood.
Get
great
off
movie.
my
Get off my
lawn.
lawn.
Get off my lawn. So, but the older stuff, like the way they handled each other, I lived through that as a child. You'd walk in, and it was like, I watched the men say to each other, what's up, Easy Money? And the other one would be like, just trying to keep up with you and all the welfare you're living on. Well, I mean, this is what they said to each other.
You know, it's funny you say that because back where I'm from Central Illinois, and I remember as a child going to a few different places. One was Hardin, Illinois, and the other one was Vandalia, Illinois. And both of them had bridges, and on the bridges they had signs posted, "No Negroes after dark."
Oh, jeez.
And this was in 1977. That's where I'm from.
Oh, my gosh.
That's fairly recent.
Right, and that was 1977 to 1980.
That's amazing.
Wow.
You know, they still had that stuff.
It's crazy. I mean, I get that. I've told this. I've probably told the story before. My grandfather, who's not with us anymore, you know, we called him Tex growing up. He was in California where I lived, and we called him Tex, and we said, you know, why'd they call you Tex? He goes, well, I was born on the border of Louisiana and Texas. I don't want anybody to call me Louise. So he was that kind of guy.
He was that dude.
And he moved out to California, and, you know, it took him a long time to kind of adjust. Like, the word colored was in his vernacular and things like that. And then over time, being in a very liberal Northern California, he sort of loosened up a little bit. But it's that generation, and it's hard to condemn that generation when that's all they knew.
Right.
You kind of give them the benefit of the doubt. That
You want to.
But see, if you look at them, if you take those things away, whether they were sexist or racist or all the other things, which we know are bad, and hopefully it's in the past, there were other things that they had that were tremendously valuable.
Sure.
Yes.
They had a work ethic.
The work ethic was
Absolutely.
amazing. Their ability to know what a tool was and what it's to be used for and how to repair anything in any given house was amazing.
But that's not the case today. If you put
No.
those people here today, it's the culture today.
Right.
We're in a throwaway society now.
Yeah.
It's not like it was back then.
Well,
What
now
a tough thing.
tool is just a guy who's an asshole.
Well, God forbid we go back to war and we have to crack down again. Do you think this generation could do ration stamps?
Normandy?
No.
Normandy?
No, they can't do
anything
any of
like
that.
Dude, we can't even get vaccines together for
Exactly.
God's sakes.
Right.
Exactly.
Are you kidding me?
There is a reality to the greatness that they held in what Tom Brokaw called the greatest generation, and I get that. I mean, I understand that all the way through. There was a big difference back then, by the way. They understood that if they made $14,000 a year from now until the day that they retired, which would be whenever they were okay with that.
Yeah.
Americans today are waiting for the quick 15-minute of fame hit.
Oh, yeah.
$1 million and step off the boat.
Power
That's what they're waiting for right now.
Power
Powerball.
ball.
And these penny stock things, like these like fraudulent penny stock things. Everyone's jumping in,
Yeah.
and then they lose a bunch of money. They're
Yeah.
just trying to make
And
a
I'm
quick
not-
buck.
I'm-
Don't talk
not
about our
saying-
buddy Wands like that.
I'm not saying that we're not, completely uninvolved with that as well. Most of us would like the idea of a quick, famous hit, make the money, and
who
step
wouldn't?
away.
Who
right.
wouldn't? I mean, that's the American dream, right?
But back then, all they knew were a few celebrities that made it big, and they were something to adore.
Well, you didn't even have
Baseball
a
players.
You didn't even have a mortgage back then.
Yeah.
Right.
You bought a house because you could afford a house.
One income back then could afford a house.
Yeah.
We can't do that today.
Well, we also have extreme desires today.
Yes and no, but just the
Bigger
overall
house,
Wait, does
bigger
this go back to
car,
Memphis?
More cars.
More cars.
Yeah.
one time in Memphis.
Was the house too small? No, he wouldn't do me in the
He
butt.
wouldn't even do me in the house.
He wouldn't come through the back door, Tom. Do you hear what I'm saying about the house?
Not even lube.
Not even.
There's no
Not
time
even.
for lube.
So there's some reality to that stuff, and that starts bringing you down, and that's when you've got to take a bite of that burger while we're
Oh,
on.
God. All right.
Go
Come
ahead,
on, dude.
Scott. Let's
All
see.
right,
Let's
come
see.
on,
Let's
do
see.
it.
Come on now.
Do it, because I am going to order
Before
a
you take a
burger.
bite, did you just simply order the cheeseburger at Big
Yes, I just told her, hey, give me a cheeseburger.
That's it.
Just a cheeseburger. I'm
All
going to
right.
do the hunch here. Hold on.
All right, do the hunch.
With
Do the
everything on
hunch.
it.
Look at that. Don't
Get
not
some
over the
play-by-play
computer.
on this thing, man.
Not over the computer.
Oh,
over.
he's
Yep,
stepping
there you
back.
go.
He's about to
Yep.
eat this thing.
Yeah, I got you. I can see you. There you go.
Oh, there it is,
Oh.
folks. Look at that.
For
play.
those of you that are listening to the podcast, Scott Merriman from the old 77, that's a very healthy bite.
Looks like well done.
How do
to
they
me.
cook that? Is it too done? It's a little too done.
I like my burger a little medium rare.
I'm
It's a little
more
well
medium.
done, but it's
Yeah,
not
I'm
bad.
a little more medium rare myself.
It's
but,
still
I like the
it's still
blood.
juicy.
Don't start talking
So-
about the cool pink center, because that really starts having an issue.
well, this one time in Memphis.
Yeah, I know.
It always goes back to Memphis, doesn't it?
I've got to slow down on this
You know,
bourbon.
tomorrow in the office, all I'm going to do tomorrow when I walk in and I see these two, hey, remember that one time in Memphis? That's it. And then I'm going to walk to my
That's it.
office. It's
That's
going to be
all we
great.
have
For the
to
next
say.
6 weeks, we're
Oh,
going to hear
yeah.
that.
I
Oh,
know,
yeah,
I
of
know.
course.
He will overwork it, and he
That's
does
okay.
that. Can we talk about what he's doing? And I know we brought up on our show
What he's doing.
a couple of times. On these weekend broadcasts that he's doing,
Yeah.
he's back in the actual foxholes now.
Oh, yeah.
He
he's,
is.
He's in the thick of it
he's
again.
there, man.
So are
He's
you
there.
guys, like, are you ripping on him? Are you
Praising it? Yes.
Are you
Praising it?
happy that
Yeah.
I'm not in the building on Saturdays?
Dancing around?
Is that
I'm
part of it?
Just going to act like he's not at the end of the table and loving every second of
Well,
it?
you know,
Absolutely.
when I'm there, if I'm there on a Saturday evening,
Well, I never see
we
you on a
always-
Saturday evening.
we always check in on them, like
Yeah.
through the varsity app
Right.
that we have.
Yeah.
He's there,
He's there.
trust me.
He's there with Kate and Golick, and he's just like, you see his hand moving around. Yeah, that's Tom's hand.
Yeah,
He's doing that.
I mean, the reality is this. The only reason that I can leave our building on a Saturday and go
Yeah.
out on the road is because of these two and our entire team. Eric, who's sitting over here, who's eating tacos or something.
He's got tacos and big whiskeys.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
By the way, Eric right there, that's the voice of Tom's Real Beer
Yeah.
Tour. That's
that's
the
him.
intro voice right there.
And by the way, Eric and I went to lunch yesterday. He ate 20 wings.
20 wings? You ate 20 wings
I
yesterday?
had 12.
I just dropped
This
that.
is let me
Are
give
you allowed to eat like that? Molly, is he allowed to have 20 wings at lunch?
He's a grown ass man.
Well, I know he's a grown-ass man,
Is
but
this
he
him?
also has to have a permission slip for just about
So-
everything that he does.
Is this him here right here?
A podcast story.
Yeah,
That's him.
That's right
it
there.
right there.
Bowman
That's him.
and
That's him
Tom
right there.
Bradley.
Here, look.
I always thought he'd be.
I'll move my camera just a little bit. Look.
Right.
Okay,
There
let
he
me
is.
pull it back
Look, right
up
there.
here.
Right.
One open and let the tour begin.
That's him right there.
That's him.
That's
Tom, I
him.
know immediately what you're thinking, man. I thought he'd be a little different, too.
I thought he'd be a little different.
I thought he'd be a little taller.
I thought what was funny though was to hear him talking on the open while he's stuffing his face over there.
Yeah.
With
That was-
tacos, yeah.
It really looked good. I
Hey,
like
you
it.
know how much we paid him? 0.
How many zeros?
A lot of zeros.
That's what really comes
They're
down.
all
the
in the
zeros.
front.
They're all the
in the
zeros.
front. No, so listen. At the end of the day,
It's all about how many zeros are in the back.
once again, back to Memphis. That's how this works.
That's it, man.
Now,
Because, man,
the only
nobody's-
reason I can go have a good time with Cade and Mike
No.
is because of these two guys and our entire team. Here's what I will tell you though. You're missing out if you're not watching this on Saturday nights, this college football Saturday night that's on YouTube and Facebook, because we have a new post-game feature called the Sweet Player of the Game. So, we award a player of the game of whomever.
Yeah.
So now part of my job as a producer is I have to go to a local donut shop and get donuts to bring to the post-game show so that Golick can eat a donut in honor of the Sweet Player of the Game.
But he's been losing weight all this time. Why do you make him eat a
No.
donut?
I'm not making anything. It was a request that
From
was
him?
made of me from him. So he works out 5 days a week at Orange Theory, which is, one of these hardcore workout places. And so what he did this week, it was great. He goes, "You want to see my donut trick?" So he looks right in the camera and he takes a Krispy Kreme glazed donut and he goes, shunk. One move, shunk.
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
That's impressive.
The man is
Is it-
6'5", 240.
Does he have a big mouth, or did he squish it quickly? or what the
No,
hell did he do?
he's a big dude, man.
Yeah.
So Kate said, "I've never seen a donut look so small in somebody's hands." It looked like one of those donuts, those little tiny ones. And he just, shunk.
And it goes right in.
So that's what we're going to do. So every Saturday night, this week it'll
That poor
be,
bastard.
this week it's at 7 o'clock East.
He's going to hate
College
donuts.
Football Saturday night on both YouTube and Facebook. Check it out. You can see Kate and Mike doing what they do best, which is call a game and all the things that go with that. And you can watch him eat a donut in postgame.
She's
I
fantastic.
mean, the dude
I just
was
want to say,
the
she's
guy,
fantastic.
The guy was a defensive tackle, right?
He was. He was a 10th round pick out of Notre Dame. Played a couple of,
I think
4
he
or
was-
5 seasons. Played at Philly.
Drafted by the Eagles, I think.
He was drafted by the Eagles.
Played under Buddy Ryan.
He did. And
How,
then,
how big was he in the NFL?
He was 6'5", 320.
And he's 240 right
That's
now.
a
Yeah,
big
he's
dude.
lost 80 pounds. Well, he was. No, I take it back. He was 300 in his playing career. He got up to 320 after his career because he didn't change the way he ate, but he changed the way he worked out.
So, and help for those people that don't know, and people my size, 300 in the NFL is pretty easy to hit.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little like a normal guy, borderline small.
If you're on
dude.
the line,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Right.
if you're playing, up front, if you're 3 across, you're 320, 340,
You're a big boy.
350. We saw a guy at Stanford this week, Thomas Booker. He came to our Friday coaches meeting that we have. This guy is 309 pounds. He's 6'4",
Jesus.
14% body fat.
Wow.
Whoa.
That's
That's
a
got to
lean-
be like hitting a wall,
I don't
right?
even understand that.
This
like,
guy,
309 with 14%
Yeah.
body fat.
That's lean.
yeah, could you
That's
imagine?
lean.
this guy, it was insane.
And just imagine him
This
hitting
guy
you at
was.
23 miles an hour.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So
Okay, now imagine
Where does he hold his fat?
So
At
back to what you were
14%.
back to what you were talking
Here we
about
go.
earlier.
I'm putting him on my camera. For those of you watching,
Oh, wow.
there is poor little Kate Scott. He was showing us a move that he did.
Yeah.
And then there he is. So here, I'll pass this down.
Good God.
Look at that guy. 309 pounds, 14% body fat.
Look at the size of that dude.
So is he going to take her down? What's he doing there?
No, man, she was taking him.
He was
take him.
showing us a particular way that he moves to get into quarterbacks.
Does a guy like that just inherit 14% body fat?
No, he has to work his ass off.
Yeah.
So
Look at
I
that
mean-
guy.
Guys, 14% body fat, it's a brick wall.
yeah.
How do you get that big?
Can you imagine?
A gift from the Lord and working your ass off every day and eating salad.
I will tell you,
That dude eats meat,
we
dude.
interviewed.
Can
Gotta
I have
be
more
kale.
gifts from the Lord?
Right?
That don't
We all
include
need
so
more
much
gifts
work.
from-
Let's
Yes.
get religious on here. you
We
know?
all need gifts
Listen,
from the Lord, man.
God gave you a lot of talents. Height and weight was not one of them.
No, it's not.
No,
It's
But the
not.
gift of gab was.
I've got a little bit of
that's
that.
true.
When I go out places with this guy, he's like, okay, I need some food over here right now. He's like, I'm hungry. I'm like, I cannot keep up with you at all. I don't know what you
I very
where do
rarely
you
see
put
him-
it?
I very rarely see you eat in public.
Well, I do have an eating disorder. I don't like to eat in public. But if I do, like that burger,
That thing looks fantastic.
today I'm probably doing half of that and 4 fries. I just can't. I have no room for it. Really.
I have to work. Listen, this is a product of a lot of work. That's how bad it is. This takes work, for God's sakes.
Yeah, but if you eat that burger, I mean, you're a big dude.
I'll be all right.
No, I mean you've got the body for it.
Yeah, I'm back down to 255 right now, so that's about where I need to be.
You mean
And
you can take Golic right now? Yeah, he can. Yes, he can.
No.
Mike Golic is like, don't ever mess with me because you'll kick my
They
ass.
got some live music going
Dude,
on.
I was
here.
going to say,
know.
do we have live music going on?
Yeah,
in
we
the
don't
other room?
hear it as much, but it's definitely here.
Holy cow!
Hey, let me get my lighter out real quick.
Yeah.
And it's starting off with a cool group.
So on a normal night when you guys do your podcast,
Yeah.
give me the process. When do you guys decide
Oh,
what you're
God.
going to talk about? Because I kind of want to see if it's the same as what Bradley and I got
Before
going
we
on
get
here.
before we get started though, earlier you said Tom's the housemaker or the
The housekeeper?
The
Housekeeper,
housekeeper.
yeah.
Scott is the housekeeper for us.
That makes
The old
sense.
77.
No, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
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 And
You and I are the mouthy ones.
Well, and
the mouthy guys.
to some extent, and ours.
I believe they call that lazy. is
Yeah,
what
we
they
are
call it,
lazy.
yeah.
Also behind the scenes, which I don't know if we talked about before, I handle the audio over here on this end.
Sure.
And Tom Bowman takes care of the video, but he also takes care of the podcast being a completed actual cell that is uploaded then. So he takes care of that.
And I'm the same as you. I take
I
care
do
of
the
the
same.
audio during the game or during the
During
game.
the game?
During the
During the
broadcast. You got me sports talk over
He's
here.
all sportsed out, man. We're sportsing hard.
And I do the imaging for the show and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And then we talk about what we're going to do,
On Tuesday.
and then typically I'll make a phone call or an email and set up what we're going to put
That's
together.
way more than what we do. We get together and go, what are we talking about? Okay, let's do it.
I like it.
And we roll.
But isn't that what makes a great podcast? It's
Oh,
the
absolutely.
stream of consciousness. We don't know where it's going to go. We might have a couple of points where we want to hit,
Right.
Yeah.
and we'll get there eventually.
Absolutely.
But we don't have any idea where. Like we had no idea that
Well-
we were going to talk about Memphis.
A lot of stuff that we talk about is organically.
We
you
backed
know,
into
it's
Memphis for
organically-
God's sakes.
Yeah, that for sure. And one of the things, like for tonight, was going to be asking you guys about your podcast and what the world of podcasting is going through from your perspective. Not that you guys know what's going on,
you know, man,
but from your perspective.
Coming from radio, and all of us here have been in radio, I feel like radio is really cutthroat. At the end of the day, man, it's my show, not yours. Screw you. I'm going to put my show on. Podcasting is 100% different. Like, everybody wants to, help you out. and do things.
I'll only argue with that on one point.
At
and
least
that's
for
that,
us, that's been
and
the
that's
way.
that radio back in the day was more than cutthroat. It was the most ridiculous, killer attitude. It was like
Yeah.
it was like one shark. It was like we're the hammerheads, we're the
Right.
great whites.
Yes.
But once radio people started seeing what was going on in their business, they were
Exactly.
like, hate the owners, not each other.
Correct.
And so,
But I miss the old days of radio. Like our buddy Tommy Nass, who's going to come on at some point, started his career in upstate New York back in the 70s. He was on a competing rock station, and when a new record would show up, it would be on the train, and they would send somebody down there to steal the package so they could play the record before the competition
Yeah.
was supposed to get the record.
yeah, then
Yeah.
those were good days.
Those were good
you know,
days.
for a lot of
That's
reasons.
awesome.
That's when you had radio stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You
Well,
had
that goes
guys
back
who
to
made
Howard.
a difference.
That goes back to
Right.
Howard Stern wanting to destroy everybody
Right.
in the market. That's what you did.
But I think because
You don't have that with podcasting.
I think
No.
because of the consolidation, we started finding out, you know
Kumbaya.
what, we're more like, and hold hands, and we're more friends than we are anything. And then
Correct.
podcasts, and just really in general, the fact that we understand everything's fragmented anyway.
Right.
Right.
So let's just have a good time and do the best we can.
Well, if you're a stand-up comedian, the podcast platform became your
Absolutely.
new Johnny Carson.
That's
right?
your bread and butter. You're
used
right.
it used to be, let me get on Carson, and the next day I'm going to be famous. That's gone now because podcasters have bigger audiences. So, like Bert Kreischer, right? We all like Bert Kreischer, right? He's got 5 podcasts of his own, and then he goes on other people's podcasts. Just exactly what we're doing tonight. Your audience is going to learn about Tom's World Beer Tour.
Right.
Our hope is that they will go and subscribe to us on whatever platform they're on,
Absolutely.
or watch us on Facebook. And we want our audience to do the same thing with the
I was
old
going to say
77.
the same rings true for us.
Right.
Yeah.
I think all the way through. So you were talking about, like, in times what it was like back when these comedians also, by the way, as competitive as they probably would feel at times, they knew it was never about winning or losing to the other comedian.
Right.
It was all about themselves.
Oh, it's always about yourself.
So when you watch another comedian get up there and they're doing a hell of a job, it's like, son of a bitch, I wish I was doing that well.
Well, they all stand in the
So-
back and they're like,
And they
And you're
hate
like,
each other.
but you're like, he's killing it, which means I hate myself now.
Yes.
Between takes of telling each other the aristocrats joke.
Right,
Oh,
right.
Right?
And
Oh,
then
God,
they
I
put
love
that
the
together.
aristocrats joke.
And I think that's kind of what it is with podcasts now, is we're closer to what the comedians were, and so it's a lot less like the old radio days,
Right.
where we felt like we were all competing. Now it's like, son of a bitch, you guys got a good podcast, you got a following.
Right.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
now.
yeah.
So can you help me out? Help a brother out.
Right,
Come on.
right.
Yeah, and what I like about the podcast world, everyone supports everyone. You
Yeah.
know, there's not. It's not cutthroat like radio was.
No.
you
or
can't
is
say
still.
anal on radio. Let's just cut to
Well,
the chase. You
that's a
can't
big
say
one.
anal on radio.
That's a big one, right? We don't have the FCC to deal with.
Right.
Did you
know?
guys
And-
ever work at a radio station where you carried the local church service on Sunday
Oh, I
mornings?
thought you were going to say anal.
Sunday
You did,
morning
you did.
service?
Yeah.
I did
We
that.
had to plug it in
I'll
on the
tell you
patch
what,
panel.
man. The worst people in the world are angry church people when you get their program wrong. They will call you every name under the
Oh,
sun.
my God.
Oh, yeah.
I had a drunk
Damn
Marine that
Baptists.
used to call me every Sunday morning, threatened to stomp my guts out if I didn't play the Marine Corps.
And then they really don't like it when you go on afterwards. You go, "Fuck First Christian Church." They never like that.
Right.
No.
Hey,
like
when you
that.
when you played that, was it on a record?
Did you actually do that?
Oh, no, I did not. But you patch through that live thing.
Oh, yeah.
And if the preacher wasn't ready to start, the choir wasn't ready, you heard the congregation,
yeah.
just their hum, the hum of.
Here we go for our friends. We're listening to the FM dial. We're on 96.2.
We're on the radio. Quick, shut up. Don't say
And
that. Don't
you'd
say
have to let it go. So you did the introduction. It's like,
Yeah.
and now we go live to the First Christian Church or the first whatever it was, United
thank
Methodist
God.
Church.
Yeah, and then once it's over, you play "Fuck the Police."
Right.
Yeah, a little NWA.
Only during Christmas when I can change the format.
Good time. The first station I was on every
no,
Sunday.
King Missile, detachable,
Detachable
penis.
penis.
Every Sunday evening, they had a Spanish program on,
Ooh.
and I would stop at the station to take care of some
Where,
production.
Oklahoma?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm taking care of some production. I'd walk in the studio to get something out of there, and they're like talking, and I look over, and Jose's running the show. And all I heard was my name. Everything else, I couldn't understand. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what you just told everybody, but take it back right now.
So it's funny, our very first episode, we did an episode called the Radio Roundtable. And we had all our radio friends get together and tell radio stories. And one of the first ones that we told was I used to, so this little 15,000 watt station I used to work at, we had Sunday services just like that. And the pastor would come in. But I would have a salesman, one of two salesmen. So the pastor would come in and he would read from his Bible on the air.
There you go.
On Sunday.
That's good. Yeah,
So
that's good. I love
Psalms
it.
number whatever,
Yeah.
and I
Oh,
had
my
to
God.
deal with the dude. I had to take care of him, and we had this great big building because the owner he was a pain in the ass. But the long story of it is the owner couldn't buy the newspaper, so he bought the radio station and moved it right across from the newspaper.
Yeah.
And he would go away and come back 3 times a year and clean out the bank accounts. So when he would come back, sometimes I wouldn't have power for the antenna on a Sunday morning.
Oh my God.
Right? Because we wouldn't have money in
On
the bank.
payday, you would run to the bank
I
to
was
cash your
literally,
check.
funny you say that, I was literally the last guy at the bank. I never got paid. Ever. I always got paid from the program director who would write me a check from his own.
Dude.
It was rough. It was my first radio.
You guys, you sound
was my
like you were
first
radio in
radio gig.
1955.
but it was 2002.
That's amazing. Here,
What market was that, Scott?
So it was in Vandalia, Illinois. It was a small market.
Oh my God,
and
what was the preacher's name and what was the owner's name? I want names.
That's a one-book market.
the owner's name was Don Hecky, and he always had his name and his initials embroidered.
because he forgot who he was.
Right, he always
He
did
had
that.
him on his shirt.
Yeah, he always had
in a little
everything.
pocket.
Everything was
Was
monogrammed.
it a leisure
Don
suit?
Hickey.
Everything.
Was it like a Mr. Furley leisure suit?
Oh,
With
it was never Mr. Furley, but it was pretty damn
It
close.
was close.
Is Don still alive?
No, he's not.
'Cause we're coming after you,
Right?
Don, if
No,
you
thank
were.
God.
Let me ask this question then. What is different from what radio used to be to what these podcasts are today? Like, what is our
Oh,
goal?
my God.
Like what are we supposed to be doing?
So our goal is to just be us and get us out there and keep doing what we do.
And
right?
people want that.
And people seem to want that.
I like how you and
No,
people
no,
and people
So
want
honestly,
that.
Yes, Tom, I guess.
honestly, at this point, I just went through our analytics. We have
Yeah.
over 20,000 downloads.
I'm asking in the most honest way possible, which is, and people want that.
They seem to.
Because it was always deliver me the hog report,
Right.
the weather report.
And I did that.
Today's rock and
I did-
roll.
Every
You read
15
Barrels
min-
and Gilts?
Every 15 minutes, I gave the weather. Every 30 on the half-hour break, we did a live call-in to the local service company for the markets. Every day at 3, we read the Wall Street report.
Closing markets on Wall Street.
Right, every day at 7:45, 12:45, and at
Yikes.
5:45 we did the 5 o'clock or 7 or whatever o'clock
Right.
news.
So you were doing that in Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
And when you came to us, you were in Vermont. of
I
all
was reading
places.
obits.
That was my last job in Vermont. yeah.
Vermont.
But you, in Vermont, you guys
Burlington,
just
Vermont.
like played mandolin on the radio. You didn't do
No,
anything.
no,
You were playing mandolin.
No, I was on an active rock station. So
Were
we,
you really?
We flipped a country.
Burlington's best rock.
It was called Rock 102.
the best rock station around.
The only rock
It was,
station
it was
around is
Rock
Burlington.
102, pure rock radio. And it was a complete alternative format. It was amazing. And the suits just cut it after a year and a half. It tore my heart out.
I'm sure it did.
I did
What it
I did
turned
all
into.
the imaging. I did the complete production of this thing. It was like this thing was my baby on the air.
Yeah.
And they just tore it out of my soul.
And then we brought him to Jeff City, Missouri to work with
and
us.
I was still jaded.
You
I'm
took
like,
it from country to this pure rock, and
Yeah.
what did it go to from pure rock to? It went to
I have no idea because I quit
You
that
lost
It's
place.
true. I'm not
Yeah.
going to listen to that ever.
I was like,
I don't
see
blame
ya.
you, man.
This dude, his name was Bob Rowe. We called him Bobula.
So
'cause
we
he
talked
sucked-
about Bobula.
Yeah.
Bobula?
Yeah, so basically, he's like
Bobula, blah.
he's like an energy sucker from the, just like
Oh,
that
for
dude
that,
from-
what we do in the shadows?
Yeah, he was just like that. He had,
Oh, hi, Morgan. Hi, how are
Hey.
you?
Oh,
Anybody
hello
need
there.
Anybody need a beer?
I'm good.
I'm fine.
I'm
fine.
good
I
on
think
the
we're
beer,
good for now.
actually. Yeah.
He had translucent
Thank you.
skin. I mean, his
Morgan's the
skin
best.
was so white you can see his veins and all his
Yeah.
other.
He was
Yeah.
translucent.
Yeah,
He was
translucent.
sucking the life from the radio
Absolutely.
station.
And like he come into my studio, I'm just falling asleep.
Which, by the way, if you're not watching the show What We Do in the Shadows, I was not.
Oh my
and
God.
these guys reminded me what a great show it
It's
is.
fantastic.
It's pretty amazing.
It's about vampires and it's a comedy and it's freaking hilarious.
That's good stuff to check.
Just telling you right now.
Have you seen it? So
No.
Imagine.
No.
I don't watch anything.
That's not true. You watch The Bachelor.
You watch
That's,
Yellowstone?
I watch The Bachelor. That's all I watch. And I listen to Barry Manilow. Anybody got any problems with any of that? I didn't think there'd be a
so
problem.
if Barry comes to Columbia, you're going, right?
No, never gonna go. But back to what it is. Podcast today. What is it that you guys or we are supposed to deliver?
You know what?
What do people want?
I think people
Entertainment.
I just think people want to hear something unfiltered.
They do.
You know, they want to hear something original and unfiltered. And
How do you
the
really
great-
feel about
The
it?
great thing about podcasts,
But you
they're-
guys are in a business
there are
that everything is incredibly filtered except for the live play on the field. It's incredibly
But
planned.
that's where Scott and I have that outlet. Like
Right.
we see. So basically, when we're on our podcast, we say nothing about Learfield.
We don't even
Thank
drop.
God.
We don't
we
even
don't even drop it.
We don't
Once
even.
again, this is to let you know that this is not associated with Learfield.
But my point
So-
my point is that people tune in for the sports,
No.
live sports.
It's
well, not to Learfield stuff.
to Learfield,
not
yes.
to you.
Yes.
So I
No,
feel like
not
I need
Tom.
to I need to lead off here and tell you a little something about myself, Tom. I do not like sports.
Yeah.
I can't stand sports.
This is not a secret that I am not aware of.
No, he knows this completely. I said this in the interview. I was like, "Hey, dude, just letting you know." Like as a child, my dad would be like, "Hey, you're the remote now." You know, I was the remote. Go change this. And I remember seeing my dad like in between seasons, losing his shit and watching female tennis because there was nothing else on or golf.
Female tennis.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Losing his mind. Well, back then it was terrible. They weren't
was
grunting
bad.
and
Billie
anything
Jean
then.
King. You're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Not good.
Right?
I mean,
It's not like
female
Anna
tennis,
Kournikova tennis. I just want to say that. That was
Okay.
like,
Hold on a second.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
and a Portugal.
Right, this was pre-Anna
Okay.
Kournikova.
No,
That's
while I
understandable.
think that's amazing, I'm not talking about you guys and sports. I'm talking about the user and sports. I'm talking about while people tune in for sports, which is incredibly planned.
sports,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
All right, with what you're doing or what you're talking about with podcasts is that people are listening for something that's completely unfiltered, unplanned.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They
Why-
want to
why
hear
are they-
something real.
They want to hear
They
something
wanna
real
hear
and off
Our listeners.
Yeah, off the main street, off the main line. You know what I mean? Like, I think our listeners kind of just like, the spontaneous reaction that
Yes.
happens on our show.
Old 77ers, I feel like, which is what we're calling them.
That's what we call our listeners,
Nice,
by the way.
I like
Old
it.
77.
We don't have
77ers.
We don't have that.
We have TWBTers.
That's not good. We got to work on that shit.
Wow,
That-
man.
Look, he just gave me a "that's okay, buddy." Did you see that? He's like, "It's okay, buddy. Someday you'll get
They're
there."
there.
I mean, the
They're
good news
there.
is that we do have your morning show to filter our podcast
True.
through,
Yeah.
which
True.
helps.
We don't have that.
We don't have that.
We don't have that
Damn.
on-air presence.
This is so disappointing.
We don't have the governor of Mid-Missouri promoting our podcast.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Honestly, man, like, I listen
people
to your
wanna hear-
podcast. I really
but
love
people
it. I
want to
really
be
love it.
like a part of the conversation. They want to hear it. Like we have a listener line that they can call.
What?
They can. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What? You let people call in?
They
Oh,
got,
yeah,
they got
absolutely.
names for their listeners
They
and they have a
don't call
listener
in.
line.
They
We
don't-
We
so-
don't have shit, Tom.
So they don't
It's
call
not a call-in
in. It's not a
show.
call-in, but we
Okay.
can have them call in and leave us a message, and we can play that back.
I don't know that we want to hear the messages that are going to be.
Well, to be honest, we've
I don't
only
know.
gotten a few, and they've been stellar. Let me tell
Right.
you.
Are they
Matt's
really?
mom called in one time about all the cursing that we were doing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my mom. If
Oh,
we
fuck that.
Right?
listen,
So we made a promo about it.
if we
Oh, yeah, we
if
did.
we
Total
gave out a
promo.
number, my
Did
mom
she-
would call
Total
it.
promo.
Did she drop any four-letter words?
Oh,
Did she
no,
say,
no, she
I
just-
wish you wouldn't say fuck.
She's like, I really like
Matt.
the show, but you curse a
all
lot.
the cursing.
You say fuck too much.
She straight up said we raised you
do.
better than that.
This isn't.
We know she did not.
Too
This,
many
this is not.
motherfuckers.
This is not fair. You guys have had your moms complain. My mom's not around.
My mom's not around
But,
either,
but
man.
your
I
mom,
get you.
your mom was an angel.
Yes.
A saint.
She was.
Yes, and I cussed in front of her at an early age. I really did. By the time I was 16, I was like, "Look, fuck it," and I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest, Mom. Fuck it, all right.
And
And
she was like,
she's
"That's my boy."
I understand.
Yeah.
You know, and then,
I'm- you didn't let me down. I'm just disappointed.
I'm just disappointed.
I'm just disappointed.
Is all I.
The funny thing is, growing up, my mom would drop f-bombs on my dad. Like,
Are you
from,
serious?
They're
Yeah,
from
absolutely.
Philly.
Dude, they're Philly
Of
I,
course
angry.
they
I was
did.
born and raised in Philly, man.
Oh, my God.
My parents are old
So
school
she
Philly
would be
people.
like, "You dropped the fuck in the broccoli," but she
Tom.
doesn't
She'd
like
She'd be
the way
what
you're
the
using
fuck,
it.
Jim?
Tom, we've got audio of him riding with his dad down a freeway in Philly where a guy cuts him off and he swears at him so bad. Towards the end, he's like, "I hope you get in a wreck and you got to cut your balls off to get you out."
I'm
You
dead up.
fucking son of a bitch.
This is a real thing.
I mean, the hatred is real.
When he crowned out of his mom's vagina, she booed him.
And then threw a battery at him.
Oh, yes.
Welcome to Philly, son.
You suck.
By the way,
Oh,
good luck, Kate.
God.
Oh
Good
yeah.
Lord.
So hey, I think next. By the way, for those listening on Tom's World Beer Tour and the Old 77,
Absolutely.
I think next week we're gonna get Kate Scott
There you go.
on the
Wait
show.
a second, it's that quick, and you're saying it could happen this fast.
I'm going to ask her if she'll come on next week because she's got a lot going on and the season's getting ready to start. She is in Philly as we speak.
Then I've got
right
to say
now.
this now. I am so nervous about that.
Why?
I would be.
What?
I
Dude,
would be.
because I'm not the sports guy,
Okay.
and we're over
We're
here
not
going.
bringing her on
We're
this-
over here talking about Mud
I
Island.
know, right?
So I'm like,
Kate's
I'm,
going to love that.
Oh,
I'm
please
really.
do me a favor and don't ask Kate about Mud Island, please.
I don't. I'm worried that I'm going to say something wrong, and then my other side is going to worry about being like,
Listen,
Kate, that's wonderful. Thank you for being
here's what
here.
I will tell you about Kate. When Kate is around Mike and I, this is what happens. She goes, "Hey, by the way, I changed my flight for you two fuckers." That's how she talks to us. She's
So,
ready for Philly.
If I try to respond back the same way, I'll be like, and fuck you too, or something. That's what I'll do because I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
can't wait.
I'm
No,
nervous.
she's going to be amazing in Philly. And so my hope
think
is
so,
she will
too.
be on next week. We'll talk about women in sports. We'll talk shit about, whatever Kate wants to talk shit about. It'll be great.
You know, one of the things I want to talk about someday with a woman actually playing a sport is women in sports and what's it like to be where they are and what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because as a guy, I understand men playing sports, but I don't, because I'm a sexist.
Right.
Self-admitted.
Yeah.
I don't understand women playing sports and what it must be like for them when all the other women they know are doing other things.
But at the end of the day, I can get that. What I don't get is the guys who want to transition into women and then play sports as a woman.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the one I
so
don't
I
get.
start getting
That's
dizzy
a whole
after a
other
while.
different
Because that's a
The
whole other
men that want to
conversation
become
for
a
another
woman,
time.
dress like a man,
Right.
go to a woman's game,
Yes.
cheer on in a cheerleader's costume, and then go out
no,
and spike the ball
Right.
as a woman with a guy's
yeah.
tennis shoes on.
It's
Yes.
strong
Did I
enough
lose you?
for a man, but
Made
for a woman?
Degree?
That that was secret.
Was that
Secret.
secret?
I'm a marketing guru.
Wait, what was the secret? Memphis.
It
Memphis.
was Memphis. It was that the
It all
end.
comes back to Memphis, baby.
Are you? I don't know what time it is. Are you pointing me to hit the close on
No,
the
we
show?
got time.
So we got lots of time to
Is that
talk
the
about.
mecca of just,
I think that's the
all
mecca
bad
of
stuff?
all bad stories. Is one time in Memphis, and then
This
it
one
just all
time
goes.
in
I
Memphis.
didn't know what to say to her. That's when the whole thing
Do
came
you know
that
where the
way.
best band camp in the country is?
Memphis.
Memphis. Memphis. Have you guys been to Memphis?
Flute
I
smell
have.
funny.
I have. Been
I have not.
a couple times.
He goes, the flute smell funny. I have not.
It's okay.
I
there.
will
mean,
never
it's not-
This
play a
flute
flute
smells like
again.
mud.
Not after you said that.
I'm telling you.
That's the one I want. Have you not been there either?
There are probably 20 other places I'd rather go than Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis. You go there one time, you go
And
to
then you're
Beale
like,
Street, you have some ribs, you hear
Yeah.
some music, you get out, you never come back.
Actually, I've loved Memphis. I've been there several times. I will go back.
Why?
I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Oh, I know why.
I was just going to say, what is it about Memphis?
It's
that
every
just
time I meet
draws
a
you
woman,
back?
she goes, "I want you to do me in the butt."
He backs his way
No.
to Memphis every time.
I think.
Is it the smell of urine?
It's
Do
not
you
the-
feel like you got to go around Memphis and come in from the backside every time you go there?
I
It
feel
depends-
like you
it
should.
depends what direction you're coming from. But okay,
All
enough of that.
directions.
There's something street lethal about Memphis that I like.
Lethal, yes. Lethal,
And
yes.
I just coined that whole phrase,
That-
street lethal, that
Yeah,
I like.
I think lethal is a right.
But
right terminology
but between
for
Memphis and Nashville, I will go to Nashville
Yeah,
a million times more than I will
Agreed.
go to
Okay,
Memphis.
all right. So pick out your favorite bar late at night when the band is rocking and everybody's having a great time, and they're serving up some of your favorite drinks.
In
all right?
Memphis?
No.
Oh,
Picture your favorite bar.
Okay.
Wherever.
Wherever. It's
All right.
good. It's
All
good.
right.
You got brick walls, people,
Yeah.
there's a band, everything's going on, and you're doing this, and picture Disney World. That's the difference between Memphis and Nashville. Nashville's a fun time.
Yeah.
Memphis is real.
Memphis is dirty
Yep.
and nasty.
Yep.
and-
Welcome to life.
I mean, if you want to get real, he's right. But at the same
I don't
time,
wanna
if
be
I,
right.
that's the
if
reason.
I want to get real, I'm going to East St. Louis.
Oh,
right.
I didn't say real.
So if I want to
real.
get real, I'm going to the armpit of the
Or
of,
dead.
of the Midwest.
There's a
Smell
reason.
that armpit.
There's a
Right.
reason why Elvis's first recordings came out of Memphis. There's a reason why.
Yeah,
And
because
his-
that's where you steal all the music from.
his,
Yes, I
his-
understand that.
He stole some good stuff. There's some sound of his music that couldn't come out of anywhere else.
for the
It had to
time,
come
though.
out of-
For the time.
For the
Yes,
time. For
right.
the time.
Once
But
again, Beale Street is Disneyland. Nashville is Disney
talk about
World.
New Orleans and talk about Bourbon Street.
Well, that's different.
It doesn't smell like piss. It smells like puke. Go on.
It does smell like
Well,
puke.
it's, you know,
Delicious puke.
it's another bodily fluid, so.
You know, no disrespect to New Orleans, but I can't think of a city that needed a bath.
Like Memphis.
Oh,
Right?
wow.
I mean, like I said, no disrespect to
Wow.
New Orleans.
I
Oh,
like
it is
I
bad
like
there.
when you say no.
It
when
doesn't
you say
smell
no
as
disrespect.
bad now.
Yeah.
I don't know that
You
any
know?
flood smells better.
But when you
after.
start with no disrespect, that means disrespect
Oh, that's
is
total
coming.
disrespect. I totally get
All
that.
right, all right. Let's go this direction. What's the city that seems nice that when you get there isn't?
Philly.
Ooh,
Philly.
You're from
Yeah,
Philly.
that
Philly.
was so fast, right?
Philly.
Right.
Philly.
You know, I've
If
never
you
known
go there-
Philly
if
as
you-
a nice city, though.
if you go
I've
there-
never been there.
Tampa.
Ooh,
There you go.
Tampa.
There you
that's a
go.
good one. That's a real.
Really?
That's a
Hey,
really-
it's on the Gulf. It'll be nice. There's
Right.
beaches.
I've been in Tampa
Right.
several times.
You know-
probably 6, 7 times. The only
On
thing I hate
purpose?
about it, the only thing I hate about Tampa is the traffic.
right.
I hate.
How about the mini trucks and the Camaros and all the other bullshit?
Yeah,
that's
But you
there
know
are
what? You're going to
Camaros.
have them anywhere you go. You're going to have dudes in Camaros and Mazda Miatas rolling around, and
I don't dislike Tampa.
Tampa's
Really?
full of mullets and mini trucks.
What's wrong with a mullet?
Tampa's party in the front, man.
Hey, the mullet is back, by the way.
Dude, the mullet is bad.
It is
Not
back.
at this table, it ain't.
Oh,
No,
God,
obviously.
no.
But no,
I
it-
did
it
have a
is
rat
back.
tail
Should
when I
have
was a
said.
kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
did.
I'm
Yeah,
from
you
that
did.
generation, man. The
Why don't you
80s.
grow it back? It goes in the T-shirt comfortably. Nobody sees it. I want you to grow.
You know what? I'm
a
going to say this
rat
right
tail.
now. If I can get a sponsor on this show to sponsor a rat tail, I'll do it.
Okay, but if
Steve's
the
Pest
mullet,
Control.
It's
That'd
Steve
be
Pest
amazing.
Dude, if Steve
be
wants to
awesome.
pay me, I'll do it.
Yeah.
We have a friend in the pest control business.
That's
We'll
right.
have him give
Yeah.
you a call.
Get rid of this
Pest
thing.
control.
So if a mullet is business in the front, party in the back, what is the rat tail?
Ooh, God, I don't
Man,
know.
I mean, that's
You're trying too hard.
it's dirty, man. It's
yeah.
dirty.
How
It's
old were
dirty.
you? And did your
Oh.
mom cry when it was cut off?
Oh God, no, no. She was very
She
happy.
has
I
it.
was probably
It's in a book.
Did you cut it off and just look at it in a
It's
tub?
braided in a book. You opened
Scotty's
it up.
first rat tail.
She put it on her keychain.
she used it.
It
She
was
used
the
it in her
keychain.
Bible as a ribbon.
when she puts the key in the front door, the rat tail is hanging down off the keychain. She's like,
Just dangling, swishing in the wind.
God.
oh, my
God.
boy,
This is horrible
my
stuff.
boy.
That's my boy right there.
Did
know,
it
it's-
curl? Did it curl?
Oh
as
yeah,
a-
it came down. I
Yeah,
could put
it
it up
curl-
on my shoulder.
Of course you
it was
could.
it was real
Scott,
long.
you
It's
know
like
that
having a pet.
Oh
you know
yeah.
that shit is somewhere like just sitting in a box.
Right?
God, I hope
Which would you
not.
prefer on your shoulder, the rat tail or an iguana?
Neither.
No, you got to pick
That's
one.
Okay.
My own rat tail.
I'm gonna have to say the own rat tail.
Or an iguana.
because
I would take an iguana on my shoulder before I'd grow my own rat tail.
Oh, no
man,
doubt.
the rat tail, because the iguana,
Like
at
go
least it's not
downtown.
going to take a shit on my shoulder.
Okay, rat tails
you
don't
you
take shits.
think,
But
you
you-
think.
Good point.
But there's someone out there listening to
No,
this
but
podcast
it took a shit
right
on
now.
your soul is what it did.
Someone is listening. Someone is listening to this podcast right now with a rat tail saying, "Them motherfuckers."
Them sons of bitches.
But they
Listen.
did start coming back, and I started seeing kids a couple of years
yeah.
ago, 6, 7 years old. And it's like, Mama, my rat tail grew another inch today.
It's
and I'm like,
child
oh,
abuse.
God.
Child abuse.
Stop
really
putting the
is.
ruler up there again.
Once again, the rat tail shits on your soul.
It does.
I mean,
all the
where
way
does
through.
that originate from? The rat tail.
I honestly don't know. It had to have been like Journey times
80s,
back
right?
in the
Like 80s.
Stadium
Nobody
Rock.
at Journey had a rat tail.
Yeah, but all their fans did.
There was a
They're
mother that
dude
said you
fans.
can't grow a mullet.
No.
That's for, Hoosiers.
Yeah.
Sorry, Indiana. And then
No,
the
I'm
child.
going to go Leonard Skinnerd has rat tails.
I'll give you that
There
one.
you go.
I'll
Then-
give you
then-
that.
Journey.
but then they said,
I
but
feel
it's
like Journeys
what
when
if
it
I
Journey
just
is
showed
flat
up,
ironed
though.
hair is what that is.
Yeah, but that was for the women, not the dudes. 'cause
No,
the
no.
dudes
Have you
were
been to a
trying
Journey concert?
No.
See, it's for both. I'm just saying.
Now, are we talking like Steve Perry Journey
Yeah.
or the little itty bitty?
The guy from Philippines?
The guy, yeah.
He's amazing. by the
Dude,
way.
that dude's
Steve
amazing.
Perry at one time, and you got to be old enough to know this thing. Although he had very, very dark hair, it looked like it was colored black. But be that as it may,
Yeah.
he had a do at one time that looked exactly like the mother of the Partridge Family. Exactly. Hers was blonde.
Oh my
but
God.
it's the same.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Come on, get happy.
Yeah.
Oh
Wow.
my God.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same style.
That poor bastard.
just all the way through, just
right?
everything.
Everything. Just
His-
that poor guy.
The singing, his ability to hit those notes and just wail on them was amazing.
And some karaoke dude took his spot
yeah.
and nailed it.
What's the worst? What's the worst thing about being Steve Perry?
Being Steve Perry, to
Wow.
be
What's
honest.
It's
Getting
like
too
that.
much ass.
Too much ass.
He's to me, Steve Perry's too full of himself. He's got LSD, lead singer disorder.
Oh,
You know the whole band come up to him and was
There you
like,
go.
"Hey, Steve, we're gonna put this shit together. We're gonna do this awesome tour. You in?" Well, fellas,
no, my voice,
you know,
I
I
got
don't
the
know. I gotta
voice.
drink some tea and shit. I don't want.
I
Nah.
want to be able to do
And
that.
he's
I'm
thinking
taking
the
a
whole-
vacation in Memphis.
He's thinking the whole time, "I'm just gonna back this thing up into Memphis. Ain't no problem."
Do you guys remember the Gavin Report in radio?
yeah.
Okay,
No,
so there was
I do
Radio and
not,
Records
no.
was an industry magazine, and there was the Gavin Report, which leaned a little more toward the music. And he was interviewed in the Gavin Report one year, and he said, "My mother reads the Gavin Report every single week or month or whatever it's published." And he said, I love this thing. I love what it's about. And in the interview, he said, "You drum harder, you build better calluses. You play the guitar more, you build calluses on your finger. But if you sing, it really takes its toll on you." And this was early. And I was like, "Are you setting us up for an early retirement?"
Yeah.
And honest to God, if you sing too much, you'll ruin your voice. And in fact, it can develop cancer.
Wow.
I understand
So
that.
you
can get-
need
that
throat
true?
lotion?
You can
he
get-
needs throat lotion is what
I
you're
mean,
saying.
I'm saying that he was building up his future, saying, I got to protect what I've got.
I just want to say, is
that
anybody
true, though? You can
is
develop cancer
anybody?
by-
Yeah, you can get polyps
Yes.
on your vocal cords.
Get
Yeah,
out.
just by
Singing
overusing
from
them.
overusing it and straining.
Oh, you don't have that problem. You're good.
Think Elton
Oh,
John.
no.
But there are a couple
Right.
of
Well,
others.
Elton has a fiction.
Well, I
Rod
mean-
Stewart's one of his wives was Kelly. What was her name?
Super
Oh, she was
hotness.
a supermodel.
Supermodel. Yeah,
Yeah.
And she said everywhere we went, there were three of us: me, Rod, and his voice.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my God! It was like Luther Vandross would not let
That
the
guy.
bus driver.
Dude.
He would not let the bus driver turn on the AC in the bus in
Right.
the middle of summer.
Once again, LSD.
This was the
Lead
same
singer-
guy who was putting burgers on Krispy Kreme donuts
Yeah.
and bacon and
So
shit.
they said
too.
he's sitting in the back
Yeah.
eating fried chicken.
You know who doesn't have that
And
problem?
I know the bus driver. I
Luther
talked to him.
Vandross because he's
Dave
dead.
Grohl doesn't have that problem.
Doesn't have that
That
problem.
motherfucker just goes out and yells every day, doesn't care.
Right?
He says, "Bring me the fried chicken and turn the AC on."
I'm going to cook
Fuck
the
it all.
barbecue myself and eat it and then do a show.
Dude,
I'm gonna
you've got,
scream
you've
the
got
whole
some
time while I'm
serious,
eating it.
You get some man crush on that guy.
I do.
Yeah. Oh, thank
Tom
you.
does.
Thank you.
Yeah, he
Thank
does.
you.
Somebody had to say
Oh
it.
my God, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's not a private thing. I think Dave Grohl is one of the greatest singers that we have right now
Of
in
all
rock and
time in
roll.
the history of music. And
Yeah.
Currently, he definitely
He has the girthiest,
is, yeah,
longest
for
voice
sure.
I've ever heard.
if he would just
It's
get
a
into
pretty
some
girthy
Andre
voice.
Bocelli, we'd
It
be
is-
okay.
It is a pretty girthy voice.
It is girthy.
Long and girthy.
Long and
voice.
girthy voice.
All right. You were going to say something.
No,
It's
Not
not-
after
you guys
long
nailed
and
it.
girthy.
You guys nailed it.
After
You guys
long and
nailed it.
girthy.
All right, have we?
can't-
So let's promote Old 77 on our podcast and vice
Okay.
versa.
All right.
Morgan's back.
Oh, Morgan's
Hi,
back.
Morgan.
Hey, Morgan.
I think we offended everybody because there's two doors in this private room.
Yeah.
They have shut both the doors.
Yeah, we're completely locked off.
I think we offended everybody. No, you can close
No,
it.
no,
It's
it's fine.
No, I don't want to hear that guy. Nah, I think we offended him with anal.
I thought we did too.
You know, that's a
The
good point.
Memphis
I forgot
story.
we were yelling Memphis stories.
We were
yeah.
yelling Memphis and anal. Sorry.
So
Mark.
we're going to know
And
from
my
now
dog.
on if somebody says, "Hey, do you want to go Memphis?" You know what they're talking about.
Left turn, Clyde.
But if you're going to go
Yeah.
Memphis, that means you're coming in from the east.
Again, it depends on how you're
It
approaching.
took me way too long to get.
Is that like the Pearl Harbor?
Wow. I don't even
And-
know I want to go there. All right.
and there we
So
go.
for those listening to Tom's World Beer Tour who want to know about the Old 77, give us the rundown.
So the Old 77, you can find us anywhere you find podcasts. We are on Stitcher, Spotify. We're on Apple.
They're
We are
everywhere.
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 Literally everywhere. Even on
Tune in.
Pandora.
If you want to watch us, YouTube.
Yep, you can check us out. You can check video out of the YouTube. You can also go to our Patreon page. It's patreon.com/.
I'm sorry, the Patriot page? What the hell's going on there?
It's more of that
Patreon.
Trump thing you were talking about?
No. So
No,
on
no, no,
Patreon, you can get
No Trump thing.
you can get early access to early episodes
Oh.
for $5 a month. You can get early episodes. You can
Wow.
also get access to bonus content.
Oh, God, no one's paying extra money to hear us
you
early.
mean they can get
We
the,
have 3 Patreon patrons.
Yeah, we
they
do.
can get the
Wait, are two of them over here at the table
Yeah.
eating
Nope.
right now?
No,
They can
one,
get-
one of them is half a
Do you
world
think
away
that
in
guy
New
would
Zealand.
pay for us? No.
No. One of them is half a world away in New Zealand.
Really?
Yeah.
He is, yeah.
He's a friend of ours that actually got us on. We're through Anchor. Our distribution is through Anchor, and he actually told us about Anchor.
That's amazing.
Wow, all right.
So, and his
Cool.
podcast, The Fortunate Son.
The Fortune. Oh, I love that song.
Before you explain ours and do our rehouse.
No, I want you to do it.
ours. No, I don't know it. You do. I want to say this. Is it me or was this the funniest podcast we've ever had?
Oh, my God.
Oh, this was amazing.
Dude, we've been
This
doing
was
this
fun.
for an hour and 7 minutes, and it felt like 20.
Right? It did feel
Right?
like it went by like that.
Good Lord.
So this is how the Old 77 is.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
we,
is
we
this
do
is
our
us.
podcast every Thursday. We record it every Thursday.
We started 8 o'clock at night, though.
And 2 hours goes
Sure.
by.
You do 2
so-
hours.
We do.
Oh, my God,
We take
2
We
hours.
take 3 breaks. Our last segment is the cool down segment.
You take breaks?
Oh,
what do you
yeah.
mean? What do you mean by break? What do you
So we do 3 different segments, and we actually have sponsors that we play their commercials.
So you're doing a radio show is what you're doing.
Pretty much, but it's in a podcast
do? You
format,
sons
and there's
of bitches.
no
Wow.
FCC.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Why didn't we
So,
think of
we're
earning
actually-
money
That sounds
from
like
ours?
way too much work.
We're bringing our radio expertise to the podcast, and then we're trying to sell our podcast.
Would you mind
as-
bringing that to the office once in a while, for God's sakes? Jesus.
We only do this for a living. Why can't we do it for
shit.
what we
No,
do
I
here?
and I kid. These guys are amazing.
They're amazing,
Not for these
talented
two,
people.
I'm in trouble. Just
Would you
telling
please do our housekeeping for us?
Our housekeeping is very similar. You can go to YouTube, Tom's World Beer Tour. You can go to Facebook, Tom's World Beer Tour. You can find us anywhere that we have podcasts. We release on Thursday morning for the podcast. The Facebook and YouTube is up usually on Wednesday nights around 7, 8 o'clock. Check us out.
I had way too much fun tonight.
Oh, we had a lot of fun.
It was great. And every Tuesday, we distribute. So.
That's right. You can hear a new episode of the Old 77 every Tuesday.
So you
wherever
record
get-
on Thursday, release on Tuesday?
Yes.
That's a lot of work.
Well,
so
that-
when you distribute, is it always the front door? Do you sometimes go to the back door?
Uh-oh.
I just want to know.
man.
His voice is coming. Here it comes.
It's on
coming
the way.
soon.
We'll bow out.
Always
we're
the
gonna
back
keep
door.
on. We're gonna keep on
This has
drinking.
been a podcast story. Tom's World Beer Tour. For future episodes, download and subscribe where you get your podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeart, and Amazon Music. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Or send us an email at tomsworldbeertour@gmail.com. All content property of Tom's World Beer Tour, copyright 2021. No beer was harmed during this production. Only consumed.